Well, hello, mamas. Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. We're talking about goals. We're talking about motivation behind that lovely phrase we've been talking about all week. Our teens saying, I don't want to. So let me know, mamas, does your teen have a goal for those things you're asking him to do? If you're talking about a homework, you're talking about studying for a test. Does your teen have something that's encouraging him to do it now instead of tomorrow? So let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. So I got to tell you, a lot of time, our teens do not have moles. I'll try to combine goals and motivation there. Our teens do not have goals for whatever we're asking them to do, for whatever they need to do, which causes them not to have motivation. So we're going to talk about this more, so stick with me to the end. Before I do, I want to welcome you all to my Facebook group. If you're not already a member, you can join us after the video at the link in the description. So let's talk about this idea of goals and motivation more. Okay. So your teen says, I don't want to. Well, like we talked about earlier this week, if you saw my post, you saw that you're going to react. Okay. Like that's step number one is you're going to be feeling whatever about your teen saying that. Most likely, mamas, you're probably not happy, maybe a little angry, maybe a little frustrating, depending on, where you are and what skills you've learned. But do know your teen kind of expects a reaction. Okay, that might be part of the reason he's saying that. But also do know that your teen really might just be saying, I don't want to, because he sees no point to it. Okay, if there's nothing that's pretty much that kick in the butt for your teen, there's nothing that's in it for your teen, he sees no reason to do it if he doesn't want to do it. Okay, so if your son has no desire to pass biology, well, then why would he bother wasting his life on that biology presentation? Why would he bother wasting his life, finding his notes, getting out his notebook, doing all of those things that he needs to do, but that he doesn't want to do? But if instead we're able to help your teen realize, hey, biology is going to get you this, or by accomplishing this presentation, this is going to happen, your teen starts to see that there's something in it for him. Okay. Now, I want your teens to have goals. Okay. Not only do goals give motivation, but goals also give us direction. I cannot tell you how many students I tutor that are in middle school, high school, and college, and especially, my older high schooler kids, my college kids, that don't have goals. It's terrifying because there's a point when school does end. I mean, if your teen's going to go to college after high school, okay, so, he has to have a goal of going to a university, a trade school, or whatever. And for your college kiddos, they got to have a goal of what comes next. Where are they going to live? What kind of job are they going to have? Are they going to do more school? So all of these goals are things that are the answer to your teen when he says, I don't want to. The answer is, well, if you want this, then you got to do that. Okay, so your teen has to have a goal for motivation, and your teen needs to have goals to actually have a reason to do that thing he doesn't want to do. So that way he can get to where he wants to go. So let's talk about this some more. Before we do, though, mamas, if you're just now joining us, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, on the Ace Cookie Tutoring and Study with Jessie channels. So be sure to follow, be sure to subscribe, because I got to tell you, there's more videos coming your way all about teens, all about study skills, all about learning. And if you subscribe, if you follow, you'll get notified when I go live, which means you'll never miss out on some awesome tips and tricks that I have for you to help your teen love learning. All right. So there's something else I want to say before I forget. And if you've got questions, as always, I encourage you to drop them below or reach out to me one-on-one. But do know that part of this piece, when your teen says, I don't want to, and we're talking about goals, we're talking about motivation, there's also this idea of mindset. Okay. Your teen has a goal, he gets motivated. Okay. That's what we just talked about. But now we have to help your teen realize there's a difference between want to, have to, and get to. Okay, if your teen thinks he has to do that assignment, he's not going to want to do it. If he gets to do that assignment, that sounds a lot more fun. Okay, I think about for myself with my own business, I have a webinar coming up and I have a summit coming up. So there's a lot of work that's going to go into both of those things, a lot of creation. And some of those tasks I really want to do. I love when I get to do my colors and my images and my creations. But then there's some actual database kind of stuff to do that I don't want to do. So for me, for your teen, if I think I have to do this, there's kind of that wall that goes up. Your teen goes, "Oh, I don't want to do it because I have to do it." For me, it's like I'm putting it off because I don't want to do it because I have to do it. But if instead we think, hey, it's a privilege, I get to do it, well, then that whole I don't want to, gets to be well, don't you want to because you get to? That's that magic little shift in mindset. And I know that might seem kind of crazy, mamas, but I will tell you that I had a student of mine who hated his Wednesdays because on Wednesdays he had double block, I think is what they called it. And that meant he had physics for 2 hours instead of the normal 45 minutes. And I got to tell you, with my physics story, you've probably been here long enough to hear it by now. And if you haven't, I'm glad to tell you it. But he was not excited about being in physics for 2 hours. But yet he liked the physics teacher. And so I asked him, well, what's so bad about being in physics for 2 hours if you like the teacher? Well, it's physics and it's not an easy class. So then I asked him, well, instead of thinking about having to be in that class for 2 hours, think about the fact that you get to spend 2 hours with a favorite teacher or a teacher you really like. And I tell you not, I kid you not, whatever I was trying to say, in 2 weeks, so literally 2 more class times between when I told him to do that, try it out, and we talked about it again, he's like, yeah, it made a huge difference in my Wednesday. Because instead of spending his whole first 2 classes going, man, I have to go spend this long at this class. It's like, ugh, I'm dreading it all morning. He instead was thinking all morning, I get to spend 2 hours with this physics teacher I like. And he got excited to go to physics. He got excited to spend time with that teacher, and the class went by faster, and he actually enjoyed it. And when he enjoyed it, that meant he also got more out of that class and learned more. So I've given you all sorts of things to try, mamas, all sorts of things I want you to know for your teens next maybe fight with you. So when your teen says, I don't want to, really have a conversation with your teen. Ask them what the motivation is, what their goal is for this assignment, for this project, for this study session. And then once we find out what it is that they like, what it is that's not so horrible, something they're looking forward to, and then we ask them, okay, well, you get to do this. Okay, you do this, you get this. And, if you don't have a goal, we don't have something to work towards. So thank you so much for watching, mamas. I hope this helps. I want to provide even more guidance, some more goodies. I've done a couple live interviews in my group with some pretty amazing ladies and gentlemen just this week. If you want to be able to watch those interviews and then many more that are upcoming, as well as access those bonus materials only available to my group members, join my Facebook group called Teaching Teens Love Learning. The link is in the description. Click it, answer a couple questions so you can join us, watch those interviews, get the bonus content, and even better, meet a whole bunch of awesome mamas that want to help their teens love to learn and get access to me. So thank you. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you soon.